Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:45 a.m. and I'm on my way to the gym. Let's talk about how problems are never going to go away. And the funny thing about problems not going away, and this is something I caught myself doing this morning, and the odd thing is, I'll kind of rewind and set this up a little bit better. Before we left San Antonio for my son's graduation from his basic military training, we went to church that Sunday, and literally any obstacle that could have came our way trying to get out the hotel room, to get to the military base, just to get to service. But getting to that service was so fundamental, because not only did they have a guest preacher there that had never been there before, but what he talked about was something that I needed to hear, that my wife needed to hear. I mean, it was so crazy that me and her both went up to the front when he said, "Who needs prayer?" Like, dude, we've never even been here. We on a military base. Everybody around us is in military uniforms. I don't even remember if he said civilians come up. All I know is he said, if anybody needs prayer, come up. And I had to have been like behind some of the military people. I had to have been the first and the only civilian until my wife walked up getting prayer. And then yesterday was midweek service. I had already missed Tuesday's intercession. I didn't go Sunday because I wasn't here, and there was no way I was going to miss Wednesday, in spite of some of the things that have been happening. And my plate is full with things that have been happening. Matter of fact, before I got in the car just now, it wouldn't even start for about 15 minutes. And when I say it wouldn't start, it wasn't like it was going run, 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 run. It was doing nothing. As if the battery was completely dead. It was doing nothing. So I went to midweek service yesterday, and there was a word that was dropped on me yesterday that was right along, and it was talking about shame. And it was talking about being shamed for something that you did, something that you think you are. It was talking about shame and how shame could make you feel locked away and isolated. And I'm not sure I'm giving that off right, but that was the gist of the sermon. So I get up this morning, and I'm thinking about, not necessarily thinking about the problems I have, but they're on my mind. And this message comes on, this Joel Osteen message comes on, and it talks about how you should pray for other people. And one thing I never considered in the midst of my problems was the person on the other side and what they were going through. See, it's real easy. Like, let's say, for instance, the accident that I got in. The young lady, and she couldn't have been no older than 23, 24 maybe. The young lady who hit our car had no insurance. But when you think about it, she had a car seat in the back, which told me she had kids. And when I talked to her, because I went up to her at the scene, and I said, "How are you doing?" Because I could tell she was very upset. Besides the fact that she was in a car accident, besides the fact that she didn't have insurance, she was very upset. And she was that upset. When you got so much going on in your life, you feel like you're alone. She was that kind of upset. And I think that's what moved me more than anything, because that's never a good feeling. To feel like the world has turned its back on you, and you feel shame. So I go up to her and talk to her and see how she's doing. But not only did she not have insurance to fix my vehicle, she didn't have insurance to fix her own vehicle. Now, I know we make mistakes, and it's, how dare you do this, and how dare, you shouldn't be able to feel like that. But people make mistakes. How is she going to get to work? How is she going to get her child back and forth? And from the looks of her information on her driver's license, it looks like she was only 2 seconds away from home. Truth be told. So how's she gonna get to and from? But when something's happening, how often do we consider how the other side is feeling? I've had in the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a couple $1 million in business. I mean, literally just dissipate. Literally just and it's so easy to just say, look at what I needed that. I needed that to come through. I needed that to happen. And I needed, I'm spinning my wheels. I'm trying to get this done. And why can't it just work out? And it's easy to go into victim mode. It's easy to go into the why me. But never once did I think, and I remember my client reached out to me, and she says, I think we need, because we were trying to do a deal with another property, and something with the other property just, it wasn't, nobody could foresee it. Nobody could foresee it. It was just kind of one of those things. And they couldn't convey the property. They could not sell the property. They could not. And, they say, hey, we got to do something different. But by this time, my client had already packed their whole house up because we were selling their house. Packed the whole house up. And the client hit me up and said, hey, we're paying for a storage unit. We're living out of boxes. We might need a plan B. And, I was already working on a plan B. But never once did I consider their position. And I may have. I'm pretty sure I haven't just totally disregarded it. But I mean, considered it from a standpoint of, yeah, but they're hurting too. They're human too. They're suffering a loss too. And then another client, we're working through a short sale or bankruptcy, and they're trying to get something accomplished, and it's hard on them too, and it's not working for them too. And then I have another, and you have these people, and it's so easy for me to fall, for me or anybody else to fall into the victim role, never once given any consideration. They're hurting too. What about their pain? And a part of you might be saying, well, why would I feel for the girl who hit us? She's the one that didn't have insurance. Because things happen. Mistakes happen. It's not the end of the world. Nobody's dead. And so many times things happen, and never do we consider how the other side feels. I don't know why I think like this. I don't know why I feel like that. It's just it's in me. I've done too much dirt in my life to sit here and act like I have any. I am the epitome of the story about throwing the stone. In the Bible it says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." Well, I can't do that. Matter of fact, I probably gotta jump in front of you if they started throwing the stone and just take them for you. Because the truth of the matter is, we all make mistakes. But are we able to look at those things that are happening and be considerate enough to know that there's other people who are hurting too? And I ain't talking about business, but even a business. If a business gets taken advantage of enough, it will suffer hurt. It's really important that we stop being so selfish with what is going on with us, and realize that sometimes there's other people hurting more than us. And what about them? What about how they feel? What about their pain? And what about just being considerate of that for a second?